What's going on, everyone? It's Mike here for you, and tonight I'm going to stray away from my normal shisha tobacco reviews and bring you something a little bit different. It's actually going to be a hookah review. So I don't really have the best camera for this type of review, so I'm going to try to do the best that I can and as in most detail as I can. So with that being said, this is going to be the Starbuzz Unicus. I don't know how well you can see that. This was sent to me by Starbuzz to get my opinions on it, give a review, and to get the word out there, give my thoughts on the hookah, see how well they perform. So with that being said, it comes in this nice little box. It does have a handle there, so you can take it on the go. That's not a very big hookah, I'd have to say, you know, when it's all set up, probably about 18 inches or so. So with that, I have it all set aside here, and I'm going to show you each individual piece, and then I'll set it up, smoke out of it, show you a little bit of how it performs. So with that, let's start with the hose. Comes with your standard Starbuzz hose, non-washable, pretty much the same kind of hose that you'll get with any kind of newer rig that you do buy. Wood handle, leather wrap, pretty big gauge there, hopefully you can see. The tray, pretty good sturdy tray, it's not, you know, something cheap. And it comes with your standard mod bowl, which I will probably never use, but it's nice to have. And then this is the little nipple piece that the bowl sits on. This is a screw apart hookah, so it does come in a couple different pieces when it comes to the stem. You got your down stem, pretty good gauge, and then you got your main stem here. Now, I know what some of you folks out there are thinking, your typical Chinese rig. Not so much the case, folks. When you pick this piece up, this little stem, which I didn't go into detail, hopefully you get a pretty good look at that. But this thing is actually pretty heavy. It is not like your everyday Chinese rig that's going to rust or break in a month from now. So it is very sturdy. I'd have to say that this little piece, which is probably 6 inches or so, weighs a good at least a pound, maybe 2 even. But it is very sturdy, and I was talking to some of the folks at Starbuzz trying to get an idea of this, and they did make sure that it is of the highest quality material. So again, not like your ordinary Chinese rig. As far as the chamber, as you see here, guys, it is an open chamber, meaning that you don't just have the 2 holes, one for your hose port and one for your purge valve. It is completely open. So I'll go into detail about that in just a little while. Alright, and finally you got your vase. It's a very nice vase. It does have some nice detail to it. It does have the Starbuzz logo on it, of course, and just a really nice vase. So hopefully you guys got that. Alright folks, so that takes care of all the pieces parts. I'm going to go ahead and set this thing up, get smoking, and come back at you. So I'll see you in just a little bit. Alright guys, I'm back. I've got things loaded, ready to go, and ready to show you how this thing actually performs. I know that the camera angle is not the greatest, and it's a little bit zoomed out just so you can get everything in the shot, but hopefully you can tell what the hookah actually looks like when it's set up. I didn't go into full detail as far as how to set up the stem. I just showed you the different pieces that make it up. Basically all you do is you got 3 pieces. You got your down stem, which screws into the bottom of the main stem. Then going up, you got your tray, it just sits on top, and then you screw the little nipple piece that the bowl sits on the top. So I've been going roughly about 25 minutes to a half an hour now, using 2 Cocoa Buzz coals, single layer of heavy duty foil, water in the base, the hose it came with, and I am using the mod bowl that it came with just to show you all the different pieces that came with it. Speaking of which, I did happen to forget that it does come with tongs. Starbuzz tongs has a nice little sticker, which I know you're not going to be able to see from there, but a Starbuzz sticker there. So yes, don't fear, you're going to get tongs with this hookah. So, let's see what we have. So as you see, folks, performs wonderfully. Monster clouds, just about on par with any taller rig that you're going to find out there. It is a very good hookah. Earlier on I said probably about 18 inches. As I'm sitting here looking at it, on second thought, I'm thinking maybe more like 15 inches, but don't quote me. It's probably around somewhere between 15 inches to 18 inches. So that leads me on into some pros and some cons about the hookah, what I like and what I dislike. I like the fact that it's a small desktop hookah. A lot of times when I'm at home, I just like to have a quick smoke. Don't really feel like breaking out, you know, the extravagant taller rigs. So I turn to this quite a lot actually since I've had it. I've had it for about a week, maybe 2 weeks. The fact that you can travel with it, it's very compact again, breaks down easily, so it doesn't take up a lot of space, and it does come with the box that I showed you, so that makes things easy as far as travel. That's really as much as I can say as far as pros go. It's a hookah, it performs wonderfully, and I like the fact that it's a compact hookah, something that I can use quite often, and because it's not your ordinary Chinese rig that will rust or fall apart in a month, it's going to be around for quite some time, and that will enable me to actually use it even more so than what I do now. As far as some cons, I really can only think of one, folks, and that would be the completely open chamber that I showed you when I showed you all the different pieces, and I told you I would talk about that. So let me go ahead and talk about that. When a hookah has an open chamber like this, meaning that it doesn't have just the 2 holes on the bottom, one for your hose port, one for your purge valve, and then it's closed up the rest of the way around. What that does is it restricts the hookah from actually fully purging. So no matter how much you blow on this and purge it, it is not going to completely clear out of that base. So what I'd like to do is actually go ahead and pause the video here and just show you a quick clip of the actual purge activity here. So with that said, here's a clip. I'll be right back. Alright guys, hopefully by that clip you was able to tell that it doesn't really purge too well. And that is pretty much the case with any hookah that has an open chamber like that. So I'm not going to go into the full physics behind it, but just know if you have an open chamber, you're not going to get a full purge. There are certain little tricks that you can do to get a little bit of a better purge, like put a straw in the bottom of it, and that gives you a little bit better purge. I'm really not one to mess around with things like that. Once you are able to deal with not purging completely and know how to actually smoke to where it doesn't affect you too much, or you don't get too much stale smoke or things like that, then it doesn't really become an issue too much. So small detail, but it is a con. And with that, it's really about the only con that I can see with this hookah. So to recap, as you saw, it performs wonderfully, just a little purge issue. It's a nice compact hookah, makes it good for a desktop rig or a travel rig, and it is very sturdy and very high quality as far as the materials go. So it is a very good hookah. If you're looking for something compact, you don't want to waste your money on your ordinary Chinese rig that will fall apart on you, I really suggest going out and picking one of these up. There's not a whole lot of bad things that I can say about it. It performs wonderfully. It does what it's supposed to do. It's just my one minor complaint would be the purge. So with that, on into my final rating. Just because of the purge, I'll knock 1 point off and I'll give this a 9 for 10. So very good rig. Want to give a huge thanks to all the folks at Starbuzz for sending this out. A big shout out to Jake in particular. So thanks, Jake. With that, guys, I think it's about all I got for it. Starbuzz Unicus, 9 for 10. Nice little box here. Go out and pick one up, folks. That's about all I have. If you can, please comment, like, and subscribe. And until next time, smoke on.